Hey guys, Urban Combat Survivor here. This is going to be a response video, probably part of a longer conversation with Shall Not Be Infringed. He did a video response to my Safe Zones Marketplace video. And before I hop into talking to you, Mike, Rooftop Survivor did a response video to that same Marketplace video. And I just realized I did a response video to him. And I just didn't have time to go back and look, and I just realized it was uploaded, but it was rejected by YouTube because it was like 19 minutes long, and I never realized. So I did actually answer you, Rooftop. I just I didn't realize the thing was too long. So I'll see if I can revamp that and put that up after I'm done this one. All right, back to Mike. First, I asked if people bust my balls about look. People get upset anytime you're going to mention business, especially if you talk about charging or making any kind of money on anything, whether it's goods or services or whatever it is, man. People, the socialists get all pissy and, their panties get tied up in a knot. One thing, I don't know, I don't even know if the rest of the video is going to be necessary after this, but I think a lot of it will be, but you got the impression that the marketplace that I wanted to set up will be outside of my safe zone. That's not the case. Maybe you were reading the comments. A couple people suggested that in the comments. The marketplace, as far as my plan goes, will be inside the perimeter of my safe zone. So basically, there's a lot of benefits to a marketplace. Maybe I'll do some more on that on another video, but. Basically, if I were to do like you said and just say, here's a soccer field and, that's it, everybody go there to trade and it's outside my safe zone, either I have to take a bunch of people, like if I'm going to go trade stuff, I think there's going to be a lot of criminal activity. If there's a real breakdown, we're talking, if it gets to the point where we got to set up a marketplace or that kind of, if it gets to the point that I got to set up a safe zone in the first place, that's pretty much a real breakdown. That's an all-the-way breakdown, So if we're at that point, man, it's going to be kind of Wild West meets the Dark Ages, with highwaymen and all kinds of different, armed groups of thugs going around and that kind of thing. So that means if I'm going to go to an external marketplace, I'm going to have to take plenty of security with me. Security that at least represents the value of whatever I'm going to trade. That means whatever I'm going to trade is going to have a higher value. It's going to drive prices up. If I have to, what am I going to give these 5 guys that are going to go armed to escort me back and forth to the marketplace, right? So, either way, there's going to be an exchange other than the direct barter between the two people. So I don't see why, if someone can come to a secure marketplace and they know they're less likely to be robbed in that marketplace. Look, getting to and from is on you, but at least while you're there, you can set up a stall and be there all day and, and be secure. So relatively secure. You talked about, you're better armed than I am. I know that's the case. I know there's a lot of people out there that are much better armed than I am. But my plan isn't really down to who is best armed. It's down to planning, layouts, and numbers, That's the whole thing about bringing the marketplace inside the security of the safe zone. Logistically, I've already got to secure my safe zone, I already have security up for this. I'm not really transferring any security or any manpower or firepower away from what they're already doing for the most part. They're already securing the safe zone. So all I'm doing really, I'm not extending security so much to that marketplace as extending an invitation to people who want to come into the already secure marketplace. I don't know if that distinction really makes clear my thinking, but I think it does. You brought up that thing like the gun prepper threat video I made. What if 25 guys that are armed to the teeth decide to come and attack? First, I already have a plan. I don't want to lay out everything, here in the, the Easter tubes, but I already have thought through what happens to the people inside that aren't part of my safe zone if there is an attack during a market day, which would probably be the most likely time for an attack. I've already kind of worked out some of that stuff and talked with some of the people that I'm in cahoots with in the world. And you said cahoots, dude. That's awesome. So, there's already a basic plan there. Although, I'm sure it could use improving. I just haven't had time to flesh that all the way out to the nth degree. But there is a basic plan in place already for that kind of situation. And look, everything in a world like that, everything is basically going to be as is, man. Everything is going to be as is. There's not going to be, I find it pretty ironic. You said that I'm going to make myself liable. And I think it's pretty ironic that you of all people are thinking like a lawyer and liability. In a world that's broken down as far as we're talking about here, I mean, if it gets to the point that I'm securing a marketplace, there are no more lawyers. So basically everything in the world is going to be as is. So, what I'm offering is a reasonable level of security. I can provide a reasonable level of security, meaning this is the security that I already have set up from my community. I'm extending an invitation for you to step into that. I'm not providing any external security force for you. However, the other side of that is, if you, Mike, show up to trade and I don't know you, I'm not going to let you walk in there with your 308 rifle and armed to the teeth with 6 dudes, because basically that is no longer a secure marketplace, because I don't know you and I don't know what your intentions are. So at that point, again, it's as is. You show up at the marketplace. If you choose to come inside, that's the stipulation on coming inside. Yep, there's a certain level of security, meaning the only people armed there are the people that are securing that safe zone. At least relatively. I mean, down the road it might come to where you could have a sidearm or something like that, in case someone tries to steal some of your lobsters or something. But that's down the road, and those kinds of etiquette are going to have to flesh out in that situation. As for right now, my plan would be nobody coming in armed that isn't already a trusted merchant. You said I'm setting myself up like the cops, and I don't see that. This is something that kind of the other side of the coin that Rooftop Survivor put in his video. He was talking about trying to set up like a credit system instead of taking goods, and I reject that, because I don't want to set myself up as a central banking system, and I don't want to set myself up as a cop. If something goes on in that marketplace, and look, we're responsible for our own areas, right? So if I'm responsible for my own safe zone, if somebody that lives within my safe zone gets caught stealing in that marketplace, then it's my responsibility. If somebody external gets caught stealing in that marketplace, the goods are returned and they are checked to make sure they don't have anything else that's stolen, and then they are ejected permanently. They can't come back. I'm not going to be the cops. I'm not going to set up a prison system and none of that kind of crap. Again, maybe down the road as things develop, those kinds of things have to happen. But for right now, I'm not thinking that. So, you made me think about it, man. You hit it from a couple of angles that I hadn't considered. I hadn't really considered the no duty law, and through that filter. So I took some time after watching your video and really chewed it over. I didn't want to just throw back a knee-jerk response. I wanted to think about it. So I do have a plan for security in case we get attacked externally. I have a plan for, what happens to all the people that are currently in the marketplace that I have their guns. So, there's a million different ways to look at that. What if some of those people in the marketplace are actually part of the group attacking, and they're expecting me to hand their guns back to them to help defend, and, now they're on the inside. So, there's a lot to think about with that, and I do have a plan that I don't want to throw out there in the universe. So, you kind of did a little bit of a shifting gears on the topic there and went to values.